Hey, Coach, this is Cameron from the Courier Journal. I don't know if you saw it. It literally just happened. But according to the Free Press, the Big Ten canceled football season. For you all, because I know it's right in the middle of camp and there's so much going on. How do you guys kind of navigate this time? And it seems like right when we figured something out, we're kind of right back to a bunch of uncertainty.
Yeah. Well, I probably goes without saying, this has been the most challenging I could say year, 2020, most challenging year I've ever been a part of. And I think probably for most everybody out there, it has been, particularly our young people. I think, the reason we're doing what we do as coaches and in athletics is for these guys and, these 18 to 22-year-olds. And it's been extremely difficult for them, just emotionally. I think just the mental anguish that these guys have gone through the last 5 months and is the hardest thing that we're dealing with. We obviously we're in a pandemic and with the virus concerns, and but for us, the mental anguish has been the hardest thing for us to maneuver. Our medical people here have done an outstanding job. I mean, from the top to the bottom of our protocols and the things that we're doing here for our guys, and our guys feel safe here. They've stated that. They've put that out there. But at the same time, the mental part of it still plays with their head. And so what happened this weekend when the MAC canceled on Saturday, we get off the field of practicing and the guys are seeing that. And all of a sudden now we had our fifth practice, a great practice. And all of a sudden now it's a Debbie Downer, you're just kind of coming down off of that because a league just said they're canceling, and then rumors of another league, a Big Ten. And, and if, so we've been having to maneuver and deal with those things. And we have a lot of conversations around here with our guys. We are very transparent, very upfront, and very honest in this program. I treat these guys as if they're my own kids, and I want them to know the things that I know because we are all in this together. We literally, we don't just say that. That's not a hashtag. I mean, we literally are in this together. And the unknown has been the thing that has really played with all of us mentally, and that's the hardest thing. And so we try to support each other, and we try to stay in the moment like we always do, and control the things we can control, which is all the protocols that we put into place. So that's kind of where we are with it, and but it's very challenging right now.
Scott, hey, it's Jody Dimling with Cardinal Authority. Did you think going into this morning, did you have a conversation with the guys before practice, and did you ever think about maybe holding off today and not practicing until some things came clear?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we talk about a lot of things. Yesterday was a day off from us from practicing, so we had conversation about, should we even go out today? And, we felt we should move forward with it. We had a conversation with our team this morning. We actually had a light day today. We went out and just really had some fun today. It really, we're out in helmets today, so it wasn't a very taxing day at all. We're out there, hour and 45, hour and 50 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, those things come into play. What we have on our schedule right now is September 12th, so we're still a long ways out. So we have flexibility and room within our practice schedule to where we don't have to go out there and just grind every single day. We got a bunch of days built in for those guys to get off their legs, off their feet, and relax. And so today was more of a fun day. We went out there and tried to have some fun. So. But we all know that the elephant in the room is, are we playing? Are we going to have a season? And I think that's the thing that's just lagging in everybody's mind right now for what we are going to do. And what we understand is that the ACC is moving forward. And, we're relying on our medical group that is over the ACC. And, what they are projecting to us is that we're moving forward with everything. And so that's where we are today. We know how things change and how fluid it is, but that's where we are. We would love to get something definitive, I think, just for our mental sake. But our guys want to play. They've voiced that a lot. They put that out there through social media, and they've told that to us as coaches.
Scott Russ Brown, today. How confident are you that this is going to go forward? I mean, you got to say, I guess it looks pretty gloomy at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I haven't known the whole time, the last 5 months, whether we're going to play or not, we try to choose to live in a positive mindset, and that is we're going to play and we're going to move forward. And that's why we're doing all the things we're doing. That's why we've had a low case number here within our program, because the guys are doing things right. They're coming over here. They have purpose in their lives right now. They know to come over here, and they're practicing, they're meeting, they're lifting, they're running, they're doing all those things. They don't want to jeopardize that. So when they leave here, they're doing the right things. And that's all we can do. And I think it gives them purpose. And I think that's why, in my opinion, if they ended up opting out of this fall, then, what are our guys going to go do? What's going to be their purpose at that point? These guys have been playing football most of their lives, and we're in the fall. In the fall, we play football. That's what we do. So what are they going to do at that point? Are they going to we have all these protocols. We're testing. We're doing all these things to prevent any spread of this virus. But if they don't have purpose, they're 18 to 22-year-olds. I mean, do we think they're just going to sit in their room 24 hours a day? It's not going to happen. I mean, that's the reality of it. So this gives them purpose. This gives them structure, and it enables them to stay safe. It's a contact sport, but if the teams we're playing are doing the same things that we're doing, we're testing every week, we're doing all these protocols, then we feel like it's going to be a safe environment for them to go out there and play. And then also on that side, it takes that mental anguish that we've been going through, and now that gets pushed aside. Now we do have focus. Now we do have purpose, and we're able to get to somewhat go through a normal fall and try to get some ball in.
Scott, this is Ken Spencer with WHAS 11. In your opinion, would it be best to make a final determination on a season after kids start regular students come back to campus and you see how the virus reacts in that setting? Well, I mean, I thought that's what we were doing, Ken. I mean, I thought that's what we were doing. Everybody kind of pushed the seasons back a little bit, and we're starting practices. Students are going to start this, in the next week to start coming on campuses. Some are already started that. This past weekend we had some starting to move in, and I'm sure across the country students are starting that same transition to moving in on campus. So, I thought that's what we planned on doing. Some of the leadership in some of these leagues and conferences, to me, are lacking in the fact that when we set a plan, and this is what we're moving forward with, then let's stick to it until we don't need to stick to it anymore. And so that's the frustrating part. And we're playing with these 18 to 22-year-olds' minds by some of these leagues are doing this thing, this yo-yo. This is what we're going to do one day, and then 2 days later, we're going to do this right here. I mean, that's not leadership. We had months to plan out how we're going to come back, how we're going to do this, and we've been doing it. Our kids have been doing it here in a very high standard, and that's why we've been successful in our program for that to happen. That's why the mental part is weighing on us way more than anything else that's happening out in the world today because of that. So we need leadership to stand up and say, here's our plan, here's what we're doing, let's move forward with it. And when that happens, then these guys can mentally be in a great place. I've been saying this for 3 or 4 months. The mental side of this it's been worse than the virus for the ones we are dealing with. All right, in our group. I can't, I'm not saying that for elderly or any other group. I'm talking about our group. And that's been frustrating for us because we've done everything everybody's asked us to do. All the medical advice, we stuck with it. We're adamant about it. And initially our kids, they didn't like it, but you know what? They want to play. So they're doing it and they're sticking to it, and it's paid off and it's worked out, and then all of a sudden we get negative talk coming in here this weekend. And again, it's hurtful, actually. I mean, it really is. We had players this morning crying in our meetings. They're crying because they want to play. Coach, we've done everything we're supposed to do. What's this talk about these leagues? What's that going to do to us? All right. And the people, other people don't have to see that. We're dealing with this on a daily basis. We have to see this, and we got to tell this senior that, I don't know. Right now we're moving forward. Who's sitting in there crying because he wants to play his senior year of football.
Coach Pat, there's this idea that maybe you guys could potentially play in the spring if there isn't football this fall, then play another season that following fall. At this point, knowing what you know now, does that make any sense at all in your mind, in your opinion?
I really haven't thought about that. I'm really trying to focus on this fall and playing ball and doing everything we can right now to play ball. You can get there's a lot of things that would have to happen, in my opinion, if we're going to move into that model. I mean, there's so many tentacles off of that. So I really don't want to go down that road unless we have to go down that road. As we are right now, we're focused on doing the things we need to do to play this fall. And that's where our focus is. I think if you start losing focus and you start thinking about other things, then yeah, we're going to screw this thing up right now. So, I think it'd be extremely difficult for that to happen. A lot of logistics that would have to happen. And so, we'll have to cross that bridge if and when we have to.
Coach Jerry Crawford, Herald leader in Lexington, the mental challenge. How much worse is it because you've got a team that the guys have been talking about high expectations and they think they can really be good, to have that potentially taken away?
Yeah, and I think that's part of it, but I don't think that's the full reason. I think these guys just enjoy playing football. They enjoy camaraderie with each other. As I mentioned earlier, these guys have been playing football a long time in their life, and when the fall comes around, that's what you do. It's just a routine. These guys, for football players, it's gotten them to this point in their life. They we all have adversity and we all fight through things. And when you started playing football at whatever age that was, there was risk. We all knew there was risk when we started putting the helmets on and playing football. Every year there's risk, whether it be a heat stroke or, having an injury that could debilitate me for the rest of my life. We all knew that when we signed up for football. We all live in a world where there's risk every day. Take the virus out of it. There's risk every day for all of us. And so am I willing to weigh that risk? And so that's kind of where we are. Now there's something else we're dealing with, a virus. To speak to your point about the spring, we don't know what's going to happen in the spring. We don't know what's going to happen next year, like 2 years from now with this. Or is the vaccine going to work when we get a vaccine? Is it not? I mean, you talk about the flu. People are still dying from the flu, and they have every year. So it seems like to me we're going to have to maneuver no matter what. And to keep pushing it down the road, then to me, that's just not the way that we need to be going.
Scott, this is Tim Taylor from Wade. Have you had conversations with your administration in the last 12 to 24 hours and gotten any indication as to whether or not, any further guidance on the season will be coming today or in the next few days?
I have. I talk to them all the time, and we got a great relationship. Again, we're all tied in this thing together. So we have constant communication. And as I said earlier, what the latest I've heard to this morning is that the ACC is moving forward. No matter what any other conference does, Big Ten, Pac-12, we're moving forward, and it's because of the advice that we're getting from our medical advisory board. They're saying that we're okay to keep pushing forward. Our presidents are okay to push forward, and that's what we're going to do until we hear otherwise.
Scott, Eric Crawford from WDRB. A week ago, we were just talking about practice and start of season and normal kind of stuff. What do you think's happened in the last 3 days to make all this stuff change all of a sudden? Do you have any indication or insight into that?
Well, I don't. Again, I'll go back to what I mentioned earlier, and it's lack of leadership. How do you put a plan together for months? We all were in our house for 3 months. Had plenty of time to put a plan together. And when you put a plan together, then you work your plan. So you plan your work and you work your plan. That's what we do as football. That's what we do as leaders. Well, you have lack of leaders, then you plan it out, and then you say, well, we can't do that. We got to just shut the whole thing down. Well, that's a lack of leadership, in my opinion. So you plan your work, and then you make slight adjustments when you need to make adjustments. And you make those adjustments, and then you keep moving forward. The very easiest thing to do is to say we're shutting down. That's the easiest thing to do. Hey, guys, we're shutting this thing down. We're not doing it. We can't do it. It's too hard. That's the very easiest thing to do. If I'm a football player and I came out and And it's hard. And coach he's yelling at me. I got to lift weights. I got to do all these things. Hey, I'm just going to quit. I can't do it. Or am I just going to continue to fight? I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to adjust when I need to adjust, and then I'm going to get to the other side. Again, and I'll say this, we don't know how long we're going to have to live with this virus. I would anticipate for probably the rest of our lives. We're going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to maneuver. We're going to have to do some protocols and some different things that we did in the past. And that's what we're doing, and we're moving forward with it. And so, when we've told our players, man, listen, if you don't feel comfortable, if you have an underlying health deal, and our staff, if there's something that you don't feel comfortable, don't come here. We'll still pay for your scholarship. We'll still take care of you. But if you don't feel good about being here, go home. And so we have our guys want to be here. Our guys want to coach. Our guys want to play. And so we're maneuvering through it because of all the great protocols that we put in place.
Take one more for Coach. One more question.
Scott, yeah, Cameron from the Courier Journal. Obviously, a lot of your guys, you said all the guys kind of want to play. They kind of took to Twitter yesterday, and a few of them got behind the we want to play movement. I'm curious your thoughts on that whole movement, and if you support players that they want to unionize or do something of that nature.
Well, we all know the power that the players have. Their voices have really, in the last, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years, and we all know this year has really came out strong with a lot of things that they want to try to get out there on the table, and a lot of them are great things. If they do want to play, I think now is the time to put it out there when these presidents and leadership groups are making decisions about them and their future. And so again, I've always supported our guys. If they feel strongly about something, they need to express their views. And one of the things we met yesterday with our leadership group, and Coach, we want to play. What do we need to do? And try to get the word out there. And I didn't even realize that nationally that was kind of gaining momentum anyway. And then it kind of just jumped on that and kind of joined in that movement of we want to play. And so, I encourage it. And so hopefully we can continue to do what we've been doing in a very smart manner, being as safe as we possibly can be, taking care of our guys that don't want to play, opt out. The guys that do, then we'll continue on this path, and hopefully we'll get to a point we actually can play some ball. And, we see what the NFL is doing. I hope they were able to continue on and do the things that they can do and start playing games. But we'll see. We'll see how we are. But I think for us, we're going to continue to move forward, hopefully, and start playing ball. And if something else happens and they come back and say we can't, then we'll adjust and obviously do what we need to do at that point.
Great. Thank you, Coach, for your time today. Thanks, everybody, for dialing in.
Thanks, guys.